Hello, Jan here once again. I want to take you through something that hopefully you'll not only get a lot of value from, but will increase productivity and results in your life and business. Let's explore. All right. So the problem is I want to be able to manage my schedule in the business and in my personal life. And I want to be able to leverage the power of AI automation to become my own personal assistant. That is the issue. And that's what we're trying to solve here today. And in fact, if you're looking right at the dashboard here with me, you'll see that we're inside N8N. And this is a template that I received, I think, from the N8N website. They have thousands of templates there, and it's easy to copy over and import this JSON file to build out these very powerful automation flows and scripts. And so this is using Telegram as the input device for either text or voice, so I can speak to it or type, and I can transcribe that and put it into the AI assistant here. And again, we're tying it into OpenAI with an OpenAI API key here. And we're essentially hitting up the Google Calendar this time. And so this is basically a setup where you have to go into the Google Cloud Console and verify and authenticate, and there's a number of steps to it. This is actually the most painful part of this whole process. But the good news is inside N8N, when you set up any of these tools, these are tools down here, you basically have great documentation. It steps you through exactly what you need to do. It's a little confusing at first. And the other good news is once you've set this up for your projects, I should say, you don't have to worry about it again. It's authenticated. It is done deal, guys and gals. So essentially, just to summarize here, my goal is to be able to speak to this system, check my calendar, see what's coming up today, and return that message to me. Now, I'm doing it here through this application, but I can also do this through to my phone. And in fact, we're going to simulate this phone input here today because I'm going to show you right on the desktop. So ultimately, what I did is as I said, I imported this template, and I basically go through and configure the Telegram account here. And let me just move over a window, and then I can essentially skip through the workflow and be able to validate and check the input variables as well as the output variables in this workflow, and to make sure that I have everything authenticated. Again, credential to connect with Telegram account. You can set this up once and then forever after. It's a done deal. In fact, let me pause right here and go back out to the canvas, and let's go to the overview area. Let me hit save here for a second. So here is where N8N saves the various credentials. So it's a global, access point here. So once you hit credentials, you could have 10, 20, 50 here, authentications with all kinds of tools. And there's hundreds and hundreds of tools inside N8N that you can connect to. So the power of AI workflows and all these tools make this a very compelling offer for any business, but certainly anybody who is looking to automate and improve their internal processes and retrain and upgrade their staff using AI so that humans can do something else or something better. So I just wanted to show you this real quick. I just happen to have one workflow in this system here. By the way, if you want to set this up and use what's called the self-hosted edition of N8N, you can do so. There's a link below this video where you can get, I think, 10 or 15% off. And it's like $5-6 a month on hosting and they take care of everything. It's your own virtual private server to run these things, and I recommend that highly. But if you just wanted to get a trial, you can go to N8N and set up a 14-day free trial before you get a little bit more involved. But the truth is, if you're anybody who wants to improve and get faster results, you just need to get this. There's no other way around it. Unless you want to pay somebody else to develop it, you should be very, very cognizant of the power of this, but also the ease of this. You don't have to be a coder. This is a no-code approach. There's a little bit of techie stuff here and there, but it's mostly dealing with authentications I've found. So that's about it for the speech. Let's dig in here, and I'll show you what we're up to. So what I'm going to do here is it's waiting for a Telegram message trigger. And it is so bone-chillingly easy. I'm almost just laughing when I think about, the power of this, but how easy this is once it's been set up. So let's go ahead and load up the calendar, the Telegram to speak to my Google Calendar. So I'm just going to literally speak to it. I'm going to type here in a second, but I'm going to show you how this works. Now, I can set this up so that it's automatically in an active listening mode, but right now I'm just simply using a manual execution here. So first step is it's listening now and waiting for me to create an event in Telegram. It's going to go through and check if there's an audio file, true or false. If it's true, it's going to go through and get the audio file, transcribe it, pass it into the AI assistant, look at, use AI and open AI, as in ChatGPT here. Memory is a component that allows us to keep the threads alive within that session, so it knows what you're talking about. And then, of course, we have the authentication out to the Google Calendar, where it's going to pick up any event for that day, for that week, or whatever it's asking it, and then it sends it back to Telegram. Pretty exciting stuff. Okay. Let's see if this works. And you know it's going to work because I've tested it, right? Although death by demo is often an issue, but hey, let's give it a shot here. So I'm going to talk to it here today. Hey, can you give me all the events listed for today, September 6th? It's Saturday today. Tell me what's up. It went through here, pulled in briefly. Okay. Today, Saturday, September 6th, guys and gals, you have the following events. Sophie, Pickup Office, Power Gym. There are 2 events from yesterday still in your recent calendar. Okay, Row for a Reason. There's an inquiry here. Anyway, it gave me a quick breakdown directly from my calendar. So imagine me out of the office, or I'm traveling, or I'm at some event and I need to check my calendar or follow up on something. And by the way, this can be extended to anything here in the tool set. I talked about the calendar here. Expand this to your emails, reading your emails, responding to emails. This can get pretty interesting, right? So let's go ahead and ask another question here. And I'm simply going to type this in now to Telegram. And I'm going to say, are there any other events today, earlier or later in the day? Of course, now I have to execute the workflow again. So I hit it up and it's going to take a look. And from what I have, your events for today. Okay, so there's nothing scheduled earlier or after 9 p.m. Okay, so can you write this as a message and then invite, please? So let's see what it does with this. It's kind of a little generic, odd question to be asking, but let's see what it does here. So it's firing off again. I keep forgetting hitting the execute workflow. So let me see. Okay. Yes. Send calendar invites for these as well. Thank you much, bud. And we hit the workflow again. All right, it's syncing. It's going to go in and look at the calendar for a moment. I've confirmed the pickup at office invite in your calendar. For the other events, Meet Sophie, Power Gym, Lighthouse, seemed like they're already scheduled, but I wasn't able to locate their existing invites explicitly. Let me know if you want me to proceed or help with anything else. And it says here, if you'd like, I can double check or resend invites for those as well. Yes, resend, please. Anyway, I am somewhat randomly just typing here to show you the power of this conversation in memory, in session, which will happen because it's a dynamic ecosystem, right? You're conversing with your assistant here at this point. I've checked again, pick up at office, confirmed, available in the calendar. Distinct invites for blah, blah, blah. So if you need anything else, let me know. How are you today? Let's see if it has any personality embedded here. Again, I'm learning this stuff with you guys, so I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you? Anything else I can assist you to? So a very professional, assistant here that's live and talking to me. So let's take a look here briefly because I wanted to show you this. This is a very important aspect of the system here. This is the inside the AI assistant agent. We have the ability to tell it how to behave and really act as the model citizen for your personal assistant, right? So this is what we call a system prompt. And I just expanded it out so that you could see all of it here. But it starts off simply saying you're a helpful personal AI assistant that communicates with users through Telegram. You can handle both text and voice, and you have access to the user's email and calendar to provide comprehensive assistance. Now it says email. I haven't connected that tool, but I absolutely can. So I have an email and calendar here. And by the way, this is one of those things where you're sort of thinking, do I need to break this out to a separate app? Do I need to create a chat widget or something like that? Sure, you can, but actually you don't need to. I'll show you how you can set this up as an active profile, an active workflow that sits and listens for every input into that Telegram app. But you can easily expand this out to your ecosystem. In fact, let's say that you are dealing with a bunch of reporting during a special day or certain series of days. And so there's a lot of email threads, PDFs, Excel sheets, different types of files that need to be looked at, reviewed, and responded to. Well, can all be done through here. You can also have it do automated tasks like parsing through data to push that data out to, let's say, a cleaned up Airtable where everything is listed based on your research, the input, the back and forth, and it compiles, extracts, transfers, loads, and stores that data for team reviews, for executive reviews, for client reviews. All possible here through just voice commands. So here we go. Your capabilities, communication style, voice message handling. And this is about email tools, but here is the calendar. Use when users ask about scheduled meetings or appointments. Can check specific date ranges. Help with scheduling conflicts and availability. Examples. What's on my calendar today? Am I free tomorrow afternoon? So I haven't tried this one. We'll copy that. But clearly, it's basically a onboarding of your assistant where you're talking about how to behave, how to respond, what are your company standards, how do you put yourself out there as a professional person representing your brand and your person. That's all here. The calendar queries, as I mentioned, general assistance, important guidelines, maintain conversation context using the memory system, be proactive in offering help with email and calendar, ask clarifying questions when requests are ambiguous, respect privacy. That's a big deal. Only access information when relevant to the request. If you can't help with something, suggest alternatives or redirect to your available capabilities. And I love this final sort of summary is, remember this, you're a personal assistant, be personable, helpful, and focused on making the user's day easier and more organized. Hey, isn't that what we all want? Yes, it is. How about stating that fact on top of everything else? So here we go. This is the expression for the system prompt. And I just added that to the assistant agent over here. And that sets the stage for all of these moving parts here. And then replying it back out to Telegram. So let's go ahead and check that question. I'm going to load up Telegram here again. So am I, let's go ahead and write proper English here. Am I free tomorrow afternoon? So let's see if it responds. Hopefully, yes, no events. Okay, good. If you want, I can help you plan something and block a time for that new appointment. Here, I'm also just reading from the calendar, read only. I can update this to be write, read, write, update, delete. So basically manage my entire calendar through this. What you can also do is you can, in a small team setting, so let's say this is your sales team you're organizing, and the sales team has a, you have, let's say, Go High Level that's hooked into your Google Calendars or Calendly. You can, as a manager of your sales team, organize and shift and review appointments on the fly, guys and gals, right here through messaging or through text. And all of this available to you using N8N. And as I said, there's a link below if you want to get this set up in a self-hosted environment. Then it actually becomes free. You just get a license key from N8N, which they send to you, and you can use it complimentary. Now, we have hosting through Hostinger, as I mentioned, but we also have set it up using something called Docker and Portainer, a lot more technical than you probably ever want to get into, but you can create an environment that you completely control yourself. A few more headaches around that for the non-technical person, but once this is set up and once it's rolling, you're good. So let's actually show you how to activate this. This up here at the top shows an inactive versus active. Okay, workflow activated. The workflow will now listen for events from Telegram and trigger executions. These executions will not show up immediately in the editor, but you can see them in the execution list if you choose to. And you can see that up here. So I'm not going to go live with this, but I can go here and I can see in executions that this history has in fact done its job here. I think I had an error earlier. No, I didn't actually. That was yesterday. Yeah, it's all here. And once you click on it, so let's say I click on this guy at 9:56 here, it'll load it back up and I can see if there's any issues. As I said, there's nothing here, but if I had an error, I could go back to it, look at it and see if there was something that it's essentially a history. So if you ever worked on any documents and you wanted to go back to a document, you can actually go back just like in Word, right? You can go back and say, hey, give me the document that was 3 steps earlier to it. It's versioning essentially. So very, very useful to be able to look at the executions. But editor is primarily the dashboard that you'll be in. If you hold down the command key and move around on the Mac anyway, you can easily see the screen and the elements and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to make a quick screen capture here because I'm make a YouTube thumbnail for you guys. Hey, I don't think there's anything else that we need to know outside of this. Other than you have the capability to also create notes. So I can actually, okay, so we don't want to do that. You can, let's try that again. So, okay, here. So when you click the little note icon over here on the right, it's a sticky note essentially. And I can type in, and typically what I like to do is document this to where I can create sections. So section A does this, section B does this, section C does this, section D does this, and I can change the color and document it and make it a little prettier. So that's it. And now, just really quick, if I wanted to add another tool down here, I can click on Tools here, and up comes this, sidebar, and I can pick any of these tools here. So you have Asana, Airtable I mentioned, Anthropic tool, AWS, what else? Clearbit, cool, for B2B, CreateDB, Crypto tool, Facebook Graph API tool, Freshdesk, accounting, right? Gmail tool, there it is. Calendar tool, we talked about that one. And you can see there are just massive amounts. High level, we do a lot of work with high level in our agency as well. HubSpot, of course, Hunter for emails. Keep, yeah, good old Confusionsoft is here. And MailChimp, you get the drift, right? So if you think in terms of capabilities for tools and connectivity, we're looking at it right here. And it just keeps going. Now, this is an open source type of tool. So, and I'm talking about N8N here. So you'll be able to look at an expansion of these as time goes on. Shopify here. So I can actually create a workflow to go and talk to Shopify directly and create specialized reporting and outputs and summaries. Maybe I want to put sales data real time out to my Slack channel and automatically alert certain executives on the team or team members when we hit a certain threshold, or some particular pattern happens that we want to alert to. I mentioned Slack, of course, so I won't go through these. Twilio, but yeah, very extensive, obviously on the tool side, and it's expanding and growing as we go here. So I think we've gone through this enough times now. We had a couple of rounds in here, working with Telegram. I am going to close this out for now, but if you have any questions, guys and gals, go ahead and hit that in the comments. Like, subscribe, as always. The more you do that, the better it is for the ecosystem, including myself, which allows me to create more videos like this. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I do making these videos for you. There's a lot more coming, and we're very excited about this, clearly, but also for the purposes of actually helping you. All right. Well, I'll call it a day, and have a great day, evening, or night. Jana.